I'm joined today by Danny Wood, sales trainer and business development expert. Danny, thanks for taking time to talk to me.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, Brian. Good to be here.
We have a lot to talk about. Tell me a little bit about what you do with Sandler Training, and tell me what your expertise is.
Yeah, sure. So about 20 years ago, I got into Sandler Training. Quite frankly, I had a successful career in the apparel industry for 16 years. But after 16 years traveling the world, selling to Walmarts, Kmart's, and so forth, that's what the world had become at that point. It was a lot of mass retailers. I had decided your life had more to offer. I had 2 small children, a wonderful wife. Now I have 2 older children, still a wonderful wife, and decided to do what I was really what I wanted to do, what would make me happy. I was going through the Lincoln Tunnel, very frustrated one day with what was going on, right, and just in my business and in my life. And I plugged in one of my personal development cassettes, Deepak Chopra, and he said one of his, I believe it was 5 spiritual laws of success was do what you were meant to do. And I said, you know what, it's enough of doing what I'm not meant to do. So let me go figure that out. So I actually consider myself blessed to have found Sandler Training in my journey. So I train salespeople and business development people and sales managers of companies and professional firms. So our philosophy, Brian, is to help them through ongoing training and reinforcement to make behavioral change over a period of time. That's what I do.
Let me follow up on that. When somebody comes to you, either an individual or maybe a company brings their sales team or their management team to you, how do you begin to diagnose what to address? What's the first steps for you as a training expert?
Here's how it works. The last thing that we want to do is be sued for sales malpractice, right? To show up, somebody shows up and we say, hey, you know what, here's a course for you. This is what you need. Works for everybody. I mean, that is just not the right approach. So what we do is we diagnose before prescribing. So we do assessments. We have the sales manager take an assessment. We have the salespeople take an assessment. And we put a team report together, a scorecard, and we come back with recommendations on what kind of program to put together, because people need different things. They learn at different paces. They have different strengths, different weaknesses. And that's how we, on one hand, Brian, people always say, well, your training really works. And I say, well, you know what, we kind of cheat. What I mean by that is we do the assessment first, and I get a really good understanding of what people need.
In this age of the pandemic, of COVID-19, you and I are speaking at the end of August in 2020. I wanted to ask you about specific challenges that you see in the world brought on by our new normal or this pandemic era. Can you speak to that?
So what would a challenge be? A challenge is getting up to speed with technology. So not just having an account, I see many people that say, oh, yes, I'm on LinkedIn. I see people with me, constantly looking to connect, but it's having a strategy. So I would say this, Brian, we need to make LinkedIn the center of our prospecting universe. Anything you do, any virtual trade show for the time being, any virtual networking event, any conversation, everything needs to go and filter through there.
It's interesting that you mentioned LinkedIn, and of course that was popular before the pandemic and even more popular now. Do you integrate these new technologies now in your training along with strategies and ideas that have nothing to do with technology? How does it work together?
Yes, without a doubt. I mean, we have it all is integrated. We have to have a good 30-second commercial. We have to know how to introduce ourselves, right? I gave a little bit of mine earlier, putting what I'll call them, instead of going feature and benefit, here's why you should buy from us. These are the type of people we work with. These are the type of situations they solve. What you want to do is relate to somebody so that they can say, when you're speaking to them, hey, you know what? Yes, those are the issues that I experience, because it's not about us. It's always about them. It's always about them. Brian, it's all about consistency. It's all about having goals and doing it. It's all about carving out the time to do it. It's all about having what we call a cookbook, which has always been part of Sandler's philosophy. If you want to reach a goal, then we have to reverse engineer where we want to go and how to do it. Now, have those activities changed with COVID? Yes. If we had trade shows in there, if we had live networking events, we're not doing those. Are we having opportunities to have a virtual cup of coffee? Absolutely. Are people open to that? Absolutely. So those are the types of things that we're suggesting.
Well, you mentioned getting together in groups, either in person or virtually. You're a member of the ABA Business Development Group, American Business Associates. Can you tell me what value that brings to you and the people you've met within that group? Yeah,
the ABA is a group of, it's not just entrepreneurs, but it could be top performing salespeople at companies. It's a relationship group. It's not just about giving leads. We do that as a result of getting to trusting one another, knowing one another. So it's a fantastic group of people. I like to say that it's a group with a heart. And when you put good people in a room with one another, good things happen.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining me, Danny. Danny Wood of Sandler Training, sales training and business development expert. Have a great day, Danny. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you. You too, Brian.